Hey programmers, this time we're looking at how to set presets as defaults or highlight or lowlight values for our fixtures. Let's start with fixture defaults. There's a lot of ways you can change these. Some people like to change them in the fixture profile within Patch. That works great when it's something you want to change globally for all fixtures of the same type. But oftentimes, you want to change the defaults and values for fixtures individually, and in that case, you can either change the values in the Edit Fixture window, or you can create a default preset. To change the individual default values without a preset, you can type Edit, Fixture, and then the number, and you'll be in the Edit Fixture window for that unit. From there, in the default column, you can change the value for any channel. And you don't have to do this in %. You can do this in DMX values if you switch to Des8 at the top. This method will update your defaults, but if you want to make a change, it does mean you probably have to go back into this menu for each unit when you want to update. Many people find it's easier to set the defaults based on a value in a preset, and there are a couple of ways that you can do that as well. While still in the Edit Fixture window, say there's a position preset you've already created that you want to make the default values for this unit's pan and tilt. In the default preset column for pan and tilt, you can edit those cells and pick a preset from the dropdown. You can see that the percentage values have already changed, and if I go back to my fixture sheet, I can see that this unit, at its default, is referencing that preset that I picked. So of course, if we made changes to this preset, it would affect the default for this unit. Also in this window, there are columns for highlight and lowlight, and it's the exact same process for when you want to change the default for those modes as well. You can also make a preset the default values for fixtures without even using the Edit Fixtures window at all, and you might find that this is faster, but it's currently a little bit of a different process to do than it was on MA2. We still want to start by putting the values we want to become the defaults into their own preset, so I'm going to put some values on pan and tilt here. Remember, defaults can be for any and all attributes for your fixtures, so I'm also going to put some values on color, and I'm going to store these values into their own all preset. A default preset can be any preset in any pool, so set this up however you like. Then select whichever fixtures you want to set the default to and apply that preset. Next, press Store, then hold MA and press dot to put default on your command line. Then press Please. There will be a pop-up where we get options similar to making changes to queues. I didn't already have any default presets, so I'm just going to hit Merge, and it's done. When I clear, the fixtures go back to their defaults, which are now the values I had in the preset. So again, we can see the name of the preset in the fixture sheet. I'm getting the same end result whether I use this Store Default method or if I use the Edit Fixtures menu to assign a preset as a default. If you change your mind and no longer want to use this preset as the default, it's a similar process. We want to grab the fixtures and activate the channels used in the preset. You can even touch the same preset as before if it's easier. Then press Store, then MA plus dot for default, and Please. But this time we pick Remove, which is kind of like removing data from a queue. This will remove the default reference to the preset and put all the parameters back to the default set in the fixture's profile. Alternatively, you can go into the Edit Fixture window for any unit and make changes. Let me oops that out so we're back to that preset being the default. Okay, there it is. Now let's edit Fixture 1, please. I'm going to find color and I'm going to edit the cell with my preset reference. Now there's two things you can do here. First, you could pick Reset to Original, and that would set the default percent back to the defaults from the fixture profile, and there's no longer a preset reference. Another option you have here is to click on a cell with a preset reference and choose Extract. What this does is it sucks in the value from that preset into the default column and it erases the preset reference. So this means that the value on my default will be the same as it was in the preset at this moment, but as I make changes to the preset, it will not update my default. It's similar to just typing in a value into the default column, it's just that it grabbed that value from a preset for us. And everything we just did with regards to defaults work the same for highlight and lowlight. If you want to use the command line to set these values, just change your command line to be Store Highlight Please or Store Lowlight Please. In my workflow, I kind of like to have a single default preset for all of my fixtures that includes all of their values, not just pan and tilt. I also really like that in MA2, the preset would say default in yellow. It was really obvious, and I kind of miss that. I think what MA is assuming is that you might like to use a lot of presets to make up your defaults, and that would work. You can do that. I just feel that isn't as organized as I like things, so if you're like me, I'd recommend storing all the default values as you want them to be in a single preset, possibly in the all pool, and label it as default. I would consider this preset to be my default reference and nothing more. That means I don't store it into any queues. It saves me from accidentally updating it when I don't mean to, which could affect a lot of other stuff. So once I've created the preset, then I would apply it to all the lights in my rig, hit Store, Default please, and pick Merge or Overwrite, and that's it. I'd be set. Simple enough, right? I hope that helps, and I'll see you next time.